welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. This is your silly home for online instruction when it comes to learning how to play the mandolin, the guitar, or the banjo. I'm glad that you're joining me. Today we're going to learn a break for John Hardy. It's not that hardy. It's actually somewhat easy to play. That was stupid. Anyway, we have a low break and we have a high break. And the biggest thing about this is I built it for speed. Okay, I didn't play it blazingly fast there for the example, but it's built to where you can really play it as fast as you want. And the faster you play it, the cooler it sounds to get all that syncopated dead note stuff. The coolest, even cooler than that, is that every note that I just played is written in the tab that you can get by going to the website and being a Gold Pick member. Okay, even if you're not a Gold Pick member, you can go to the website and get 3 free days of seeing all my videos. So you can check it all out. I have hundreds of tabs there and videos. And so if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube and not on my website, then get over there, BanjoBenClark.com. Okay, let's dive into this one. You're really gonna dig it. All right, John Hardy. I've got 2 great breaks here written out for you. One of them's down low, and then halfway through we transition and we play a break up top, which is a lot of fun. Okay, give you some variety there to play with. This is in the key of G. Okay, but John Hardy's unique in that it starts out, each one of the breaks starts out on the C chord, okay, instead of the G chord, which in the key of G, G, A, B, C, that would be the 4 chord. Okay, just a little theory bit of knowledge there for you. Let's look at measure 1. It's got the little kickoff coming in. Once again, I know I remind you a lot, but pay attention to your pick strokes. Okay, we have quarter notes on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th beat of this measure. It's kickoffs, and they're all downstrokes, as you can see from the little black arrows beneath the notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then we start the break really in measure 2 there. Okay, we're in the C position. And the good thing, we're playing this in the key of G, okay, as I mentioned. The good thing about that is that our open strings are all legal, okay? It's not like we're in the key of B and most of our open strings are not in the scale, okay? We're in the key of G, so our open strings are in the scale, so it's okay if we're getting real fast, playing this real fast and really hard, and we play more than the notes that are just written. For example, there in measure 2, it starts out with the quarter note and just the 5th fret down there, and then on the 2nd beat, you play through both the G and the D strings. This time, you slide with your index finger from 1st to 2nd fret. So measure 2 sounds like this. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you hear there on the end, I played through to the A string. When you're going really fast, you may do that. It's okay. It gives it kind of that cool little dirty sound. You don't want to play through all 4 strings all the time. We don't want to do that, but it's okay to get into it a little bit. And that's the approach that I took throughout the whole song, as we'll see, especially as we get into the 2nd break where we're doing some really cool syncopated stuff. Okay, measure 3, we're going to work this F note in there over this C chord. So we keep our same position, okay, on this C position, but then the 1st beat of measure 3, we're going to do 1 downstroke and then hammer from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret on the D string. So it sounds like this. Okay. So measure 3, all together. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we're going to go to some single string stuff in measure 4. It's pretty simple. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we'll continue that little thought there in measure 5. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we're back to the C chord, measure 6. Now I want you to keep something in mind. Measure 6 and 7 is exactly like measures 2 and 3. We're going to repeat this 3 times in a row. Every time we go back to that C chord, we have the same little C figure. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and but then whenever we come back to the G chord, like here in measure 8, we're going to do something a little different each time. I think that's really cool. And I love this little lick here in measure 8. It's a little pattern that we're going to do. We're going to start out just doing open, 2, then 5. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Okay, then we're going to do another open, and we're going to move everything up. And I want you to play with your index finger, the 5th fret, and then with your ring finger, you're going to play the 9th fret. Okay, so measure 8 sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 And then once you do that pattern, just remember that spacing, because what we're going to do for the next through measure 9 is bring everything down just a half step at a time. Okay, so measures 8 and 9 look like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so it sounds really cool when it's going fast, but don't let it discourage you thinking that it's really hard. I'm not jumping up there doing some kind of crazy Chris Steele stuff. Okay, we're finding this one little pattern, 5/9, and then each time we play it through, we just scoot down both fingers a fret. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Good. Now we're to measure 10. We're back on that C figure. Good. Measure 12 is somewhat like measure 4. We're just working our way back down to the G string. And 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so we have that little slide there at the end of measure 12. 4 and 1. And we're getting ready to go into the D chord. And this D chord, it lasts for 6 measures, so we have plenty of time to really think up some cool stuff to play over a D chord. Measure 13, working into the D chord, sounds like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now we're there at measure 14. We have 6 measures of D chord, okay, and I like to kind of grow the D chord. I do this on both breaks, the low break and the high break. But essentially, I'm just going to take inversions of the D chord, and we're just going to start moving up the inversions. The first one that I'm going to do is going to be this low G string on the 2nd fret and the open D string. We're going to work those two together in measure 14. So it sounds like this, measure 14. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, can you do that? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. There you go. In measure 15, look where your ring finger is. It's right there where it needs to be, on the 5th fret. We're going to play the 5th fret of the low G string, play through your D string as well, and slide up to the 7th fret. 1 and what are we doing there? We're just creating a drone. The 7th fret of your low G string is the same note as your D string. That's all we're doing. Okay, so measure 15 sounds like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and then I'm going to reach on the 4th beat of that measure to the 3rd fret of my D string and slide up to the 4th. And we're just grabbing the next inversion. I'm going from an F natural to F sharp, so we're just working up the D chord. That's what it sounds like. Okay, so measure 15 into measure 16. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, we're getting a little syncopated with where we put these quarter notes, but when it goes fast, it makes sense. Okay, and then 17, we're going to take this same shape, okay, and we're going to move it up. We're going to put one more additional fret in between, but we're going to take it up to the 7th fret with our index finger, and then the 11th fret with our ring finger. And we're just taking this inversion up. And then there, we're going to do a triplet in the 17th measure. So the first beat is just a downstroke quarter note, 1 and then for the 2nd beat, we're going triplet, down, up, down, okay? And then we're going to end the measure with 2 more quarter notes. 1 and triplet, 3 and 4 and 1 and triplet, 3 and 4 and. Notice I'm getting a little trashy hitting this A string. That's okay. 1 and 2 and 3. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Now we're just going to have one more big D lick as we work ourselves down, get ready for the 2nd break. And we're going to do that by coming to the 5th fret of the A string. Okay, we're just going to alternate playing down these frets with the open string, that open A string. Sounds like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and then we slide on the 3rd fret. But I want you, normally I would slide that with my middle finger, but this time I want you to do it with your index finger, because it's going to set us up for what we have to do next. Measure 19. Okay, I know that sounds weird going slow, but here essentially I'm just coming up with this upstroke and catching that G string. If you catch both strings, it's okay. It's going so fast. See, you can't tell. Just, that's all I'm doing. I'm not even necessarily getting a clear open G string there. It might be kind of a dead note, which we're going to have quite a few of those in the second time through. Then we hammer on from the 3rd fret to the 4th, and then that finishes out our break for measure 20, and we'll get ready to transition up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and measure 21. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 21. That's a cool little measure. We're just going to do 2 notes on the 3rd fret, 1 and, then we're going to pick the 5th fret and slide it up to the 9th fret. 1 and 2 and then that puts us right in position for where our index finger needs to be on the 3rd beat. 5, 7, 5. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we're right there to start our next break. Let's take a look at the second break.